Do you remember when the last time we were here was?
Well, I know the last time we were here, but it wasn't for play. It was just to tune the truck, tune the new motor. I think the last time we were out here to just play around was the Clean Desert event, which was
Right around the time we found out we were pregnant. Right in. So it had to have been like February 22?
say a few years ago.
Yeah. Almost three.
Three.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And we have
He's
a third
hiding.
passenger hiding. So it's finally a play trip and not all business.
The race went good, kind of, for the most part.
Want to talk about the race a little bit?
So we ended up deciding to race Rage again, which we do every year. We did like the last push on the truck, I guess you could say, to get it ready for the race. We got the motor in. Just putting the new motor in, we changed quite a bit of stuff. We ended up putting two in-tank A1000 fuel pumps. They're area motive A1000s. I ended up getting them off of a buddy of mine, off-road jeweler, that were takeoffs out of the trophy trucks that he preps. So he had some extras, and I ended up doing some machining for him, and we got the pumps. So with that new system, we could run, one pump will run the truck. So we ended up doing dual pumps, fully redundant systems, all dash 10 all the way up to the fuel rails, or actually all dash 10 up to the Y, and then I think we did dash 8 to the fuel rails, if I remember right. So
And then you machined the new.
So I ended up having to machine all new fuel plates for the top of the fuel cell to accept those new fuel pumps. And then I ended up cutting a new hole in the fuel cell as well, because those fuel pumps are so big you can't put them on one fuel plate. So we could technically fit two pumps on one fuel plate, but then we couldn't do the tip over valve or the fill neck. So we decided to do dual fuel plates, kind of like a trophy truck would have. And we got a new drive shaft made, which is kind of a funny story with that. We went testing, a couple days before, right?
Before the race?
Yeah.
I thought we went like a weekend before the race or something.
Yeah, it was the weekend before the race. So was it Sunday or was it Saturday? I don't remember.
I think it had to have been a Saturday because I typically work Sundays, so.
Yeah, so we ended up going out Saturday and kind of fast forwarding a little bit, and then I'll backtrack a little bit more, but the brand new drive shaft on our last run testing, we tagged a rock or did something. I don't know exactly what happened, but ended up denting the brand new drive shaft. So our buddy Jason ended up running it out to Sanchin, who had his buddy make the new drive shaft for us and rebalanced it just so we could have a spare drive shaft in case something went south during the race. But backtracking back to the fuel system, we ended up doing one-way valves so you can run each fuel pump separately, and then also each suction line for the fuel pumps, or discharge line, however you want to look at it, has their own fuel filter as well. So it's a fully redundant system. If one fails, we can literally hit a button and turn on the other fuel pump. So we tested that when we went testing. Everything works good with that. Sanchin, Full Rabbit Motorsports, he dyno tuned the truck because we don't have internet service at our house. So he lent us his Starlink so he could base tune the truck at our house, at our shop. We took the truck to him.
That was just the initial startup with the new motor.
That was just a base tune so we could start it, run through the heat cycles, make sure everything was right.
Make sure we didn't have any leaks prior to going.
Any leaks or anything on the motor or the new fuel system. So we ended up driving out to Sanchin's shop, dyno tuned it on 91 just so we could make the Clean Desert event and put some miles on the truck and just, you know, basically get a feel for the new motor. I think it made like, I think it was like 375 to the wheels. That was at basically 9 pounds of boost, which I think that's pretty much, it's either 8 or 9 pounds is stock. So by me stripping the rotors, we actually lost a little bit of boost because that coating makes the rotors a little bit closer. We're going to be changing the supercharger out to something bigger in the future, so I didn't want to, there's a company that recoats the rotors. I think they hard anodize them, but I didn't want to go that route because it's like $1,300 or $1,400. The motor should make more power, and talking with Robert, the motor builder, it will make more power. We just got to put more boost to it. You know, we built the motor to run like anywhere from 12 to 14 pounds of boost all day long. So at 9 pounds, that's pretty much what the stock motor was capable of doing all day. And then we're also going to redo the exhaust. We're gonna go up and right now I think we're 1 3/4 primaries on the headers, and we're going to go up because that we think right now that's restricting flow. So you can cram a bunch of air into the motor, but if you can't get it out fast enough, you're not going to make any more power. So we're going to end up redoing the exhaust too. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while because those headers were the first headers I ever built, and they're all mild still, and they're all rusty. So we're actually going to do either 1 7/8 or 2-inch primaries, and that alone right there, Sancho was telling me just doing the exhaust, not changing anything, should gain like 60 horsepower. So like my end goal, and you know, Robert and I were talking in Sanchin, and you know, the motor should comfortably put out, you know, 450 to the tires. So that's like our goal to shoot for, and to keep it, you know, conservative and not, you know, put 18 to 20 pounds of boost to it. We don't need to do that. So that's our game plan in the future. But for now, the truck's crazy fast. I'll just leave it at that, you know.
Feels way different than the last time, right?
Yeah, so the old new motor, as I call it, the one that destroyed itself. I said from the beginning to you know, to everybody that I've talked to about the new motor, it just never felt like it had the power that it was supposed to. What I was expecting, you know, we never
Felt kind of lazy.
Yeah, it felt super lazy, and it had no top end. Like we would get to when we went testing last year for Rage, we would get into the whoops, and at about 80 miles an hour, it like kind of fall on its face. Like it didn't want to go anywhere. So this new motor, it feels like it pulls a lot more than the other one did, so it should be completely different, or it is completely different. I shouldn't say it should be. So we ended up going to Clean Desert, had no issues, truck ran great. On 91, being that Rage at the River is more like a sprint race, you know, you're in the throttle 90% of the race, because there's not really, it's a short course compared to like a long race, you know, where you can just kind of hold it open. You're always in and out of the gas. So we decided to run E85. We ended up doing new injectors too with this new motor. So the injectors, when Sanchin calced out all the math for the injectors, these injectors can run E85 no problem. So we decided, after talking with Sanchin a little bit, we were gonna run a 91 E85 50/50 mix for the race. decided just to go straight E85. So I think we're getting right around 1.5 to 1.3 miles per gallon right now on E85, which isn't that bad in my opinion for running E85. So we got a 70-gallon fuel cell, so you know we're capable of doing over 100 miles, which I think Rage at the River is like 50, 60 miles for each day. So we ended up tuning it with E85. It didn't necessarily make any more horsepower on E85, but it lowered the motor temps quite a bit, to where he ended up having to shut off one of the fans to get the motor to come up to temp when he was tuning it.
And that was like another thing we were a little concerned of, because last year.
Yeah, we were a little concerned of the temps. I haven't had time. I'm actually going to do ducting to the new radiator that we put in it, but I just haven't had time because we've been so busy with other projects and just life. And we were a little bit worried about the temps getting fairly hot. Last year when we ran Rage with the old new motor, temps got decently hot. I don't want to say decent.
They were climbing.
They got to like 220, which is normally the truck used to run at about 190, maybe 200, and that was definitely a plus, lowering the temps. We're gonna put a flex fuel sensor on it in the future. I already have everything. Sanchin got me everything for that, and that'll be nice because we'll be able to, when we just take it out with the family, we want to just be able to put 91 in it and go have fun, because we're not racing, we're not running it for 2 hours full throttle like when we're racing. So the flex fuel sensor will actually allow us to put 91 in it. It'll adjust the tune for the fuel. That's kind of where we're at with the truck right now.
Ready to break them in?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready? What? To get broken in? You still think you want to race? Huh? You still think you want to race in the third seat with us? Yeah. For Prim? Do we have a back seat?
boys just running loud.
Bring the bump.